Basically, if you've had enough of this...
You know, the impossible is possible a lot of the time.
Or this...
You can see there Joe Hart's holding up four fingers. And the reason being is he wants that wall to have... He wants four players in the wall.
This might just be the podcast for you.
As electrifying as a hairdryer thrown into a hot tub, my friend. Aguero! I swear you'll never see anything like this ever again. I don't believe it. He missed that. It's Torres.
Welcome to the Honest Football Podcast, where we bring honesty back to the beautiful game. I'm Craig Savage, and with me every week are my two co-hosts, Daniel Cody and Charlie Betts.
Join us every week for a more honest take on the highs and lows of football. We'll cover a couple of meaty topics each episode, add a few lads to the shit list, which you'll find out about later, a few quiz questions at the end, but all done in an honest, cliche-free fashion. Bloody hell, try and say that after a few drinks.
On today's show, is the cost of non-league football too expensive? And the abuse of refereeing, is it out of control?
So lads, what we've been up to this week? Anything exciting?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Sure, you got this on.
Well, just eat and work, mate. Same old. I can give you a list of takeaways if you want.
Have you had any profiteroles this week, Dan?
I have not, mate. It's mainly been on the savoury.
It must have been a while since you had a profit roll.
At least a year, unfortunately. Moved on to the longer eclairs instead.
Longer? You love your dessert.
Yeah, no, I went to the Wing Shung, which is a local Asian takeaway. But yeah, you've been there before, Dan, haven't you?
Plenty of times, well, never been there. Delivered.
It's just down the road from here, so absolutely I can walk down there. But the Singapore special chow mein is one to die for, to be honest.
Absolutely.
But you don't like the prawns, is that right?
No, absolutely not. Seafood's inhumane.
Prawns are the best bit though, Dan, surely, is that not?
No. You can't have seafood in anything. All chicken.
So what do you mean you can't have chicken?
You can't
have chicken. Oh, right.
No seafood. No seafood.
No seafood.
Yeah, but I mean,
no calamari.
No, absolutely not.
A lot of the Far East is islands though, that's what they live off, seafood, surely.
Yeah, we're not in the Far East.
They hunt for fish.
So you don't go fish and chip shop, you don't get fish?
No. Sausages and kebabs, mate.
Oh. To be fair, I don't get fish. I don't eat
not even when you go to
I don't even eat fish at all.
You don't eat fish?
No, not at all. Can't stand the smell.
You're the odd one out.
Didn't go to a Catholic school for a reason. But I did.
No, I didn't. I'm surprised at that. I thought you'd eat fish.
The smell just makes me throw up.
The smell of fish?
Yeah.
I'm
even
fairly
though
similar to that.
I work in a supermarket and I don't go near that section.
There are some fish. I think it was, what was it I cooked in here once? It was like monkfish or something like that. And in fairness, it was breadcrumbed or whatever.
Oh yeah.
But it properly reeked the house out.
Yeah, I think.
And my missus went absolutely ate. 2 days later, she was boiling vinegar and lemons to try and get rid of the smell. Yeah, apparently it like neutralises it, but I don't know. But
I've had some baby squid before in batter.
Squid calamari in that. That's quality though.
I literally had a few, but I thought, okay, this is still going. And then after about 6 bites, I'm like.
So you do eat seafood?
No, that was about 15 years ago. I was on holiday one time. Like, no, that's it.
That's the experiment over.
Forget fish fingers.
Do you get the prawn toast then at least from?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. See, that's.
You can't tell the seafood in that, can you?
No.
It's like the same thing with tuna. Tuna doesn't really taste like fish.
Smells like it though, doesn't it?
Smells like it, but it doesn't taste like.
That's all
Doesn't taste of fish.
No.
Fair enough. Right. Well, moving on. Topic number 1. Is that the bit we're at? Have I got that wrong or?
No. The cost of non-league football. Do you think it's expensive to run a football club in the non-league?
I don't know. I haven't got a lot of the stats and figures, but I know a man who does. So I don't.
It's not me for once.
Do you want to take the lead on this, Dan?
So we'll throw over to the boring old man. Discuss non-league. As you both know, I'm one of the few men for many years who have watched Vanarama National League football, or whatever sponsorship it's had at the time before it fallen apart.
Satanta BT.
Satanta BC, the TV deals. We'll get onto that. Don't worry. They've all fallen apart. There's many reasons for it, but in recent years in particular, the main 3 words we've seen with the non-league are administration, liquidation, and winding up orders.
You have done your research on those big words, haven't you?
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean, Dan, or not?
Vaguely.
Go on.
Moving on, let's have a look at the teams that have moved down in recent years. One of the biggest problems we've had is teams coming down from the Football League. So, quite often, we're sold a dream in the non-league. You look at the first day of the television's coverage, and all you see is the dream of getting back, the playoff final at Wembley, the glorious team winning a title. But there's only one team that can get promoted automatically, and at the end, we end to see teams begging with buckets. Hartlepool United this season, Dagenham and Redbridge Our popular manager John Still from Luton Town.
Gone to Barnet,
Just a quick side note on begging with buckets. I can't remember what it was, about 10 years ago, but do you remember when Wolves, their mascot, got in trouble for fighting? Do you remember this?
I don't remember this. Yeah, he got sent off, didn't he?
Wolfie the Wolf, or something his name was. He basically got in trouble, and I think the big crunch one was who was it? Bristol City had 3 little pigs as their mascot, and he would genuinely broke out in a fight between the Wolf. If you're not sure, like Google it, I promise you.
I think I have to look this up.
But at Wolves, apparently the week later, they were going around with buckets to pay for his bail because he couldn't get out. So they were actually getting donations. Genuinely, true story. Google it. It must have been about 10, 15 years ago.
I think I've been to a game. It was Football League at the time where I think Wrexham were very close to going bust back in 2005, and it's probably the owners, but no club should really be in that sort of debt, and it's very hard for like loyal fans to go around and beg for money. I've seen Leighton Orient do it recently. Obviously, you said Hartlepool United. Dagenham have had to play a charity game against West Ham.
Where does the money go though? Because I'm just quickly googling this. I'm sure that I can't remember which club it was, but someone basically they raised 30 grand and bought Leon Court with it. Is it Leon Court? What's his name?
Leon Court.
No, completely. I've made that completely up. Is it Leo Fortune West?
That's a name.
Someone bought. No, honestly, someone bought him for 30 grand. It was like Scunthorpe or someone, and the club had raised the money. The fans had raised the money to do it, and he kept them up apparently. Leo Fortune West.
Wonderful.
He's no Roy Sando, isn't he?
I think one of the biggest problems though is that most of the teams now try and stay professional. 15, 20 years ago this wasn't the case. It was an entirely semi-professional league. These teams come down, they keep the Football League wages, they keep the professional teams. Tranmere doing it at the moment, got lucky this year, got themselves back up.
It's very hard to get out nationally. It's very hard.
That's it, and after 2 or 3 years you have a bit of trouble. I've got a few teams, just to let you know, who have fallen down. Hereford, Darlington, Chester, Halifax, Rushton and Diamonds, all in the last 15 years.
They're all like
liquidated, starting again.
Yeah, started again.
Even further up.
Kettering had to go down.
Boston United got demoted now.
Salford City, are they pro now? Is that right?
Yeah, they've been pro for they're pro last season.
What, they're Conference North?
They were, they got promoted. They won the.
But I mean, they weren't
National League North. Not many teams are full time in the National League North. I don't think many teams are in the National League South.
No, I think there's only 1 or 2.
So
that's crazy.
They've got the money, haven't they? Salford with obviously the class of
but
92
what's the player that level on? Surely.
Well, it was a big one. It was a big one with York City because they got relegated twice in a row from League 2. They've still got players on £1 a week at the start of this season, and you can't cope.
So they're training full time, like during the day.
Yeah, Salford are.
And Stockport tried to do the same when they went down there, and they've ended up becoming semi-professional, a mid-table, sitting duck in the middle of that league with a 10,500 seater stadium.
R.I.P.
No Brett Angel, do you remember him? What a striker he was.
The thing is, like, it's weird seeing like Stockport County in the National League North. Like, you remember seeing them in the football like League One and like
on
the cusp of the
Division
Championship. Division One, and
that's right. I remember
see
that.
A club fall like that, and I remember seeing Ian Dowie score an own goal at Stockport and Stockport.
So West Ham, that's right. That was a perler as well.
Yeah.
That was a beautiful own goal. Definitely, watch that.
The problem comes with teams like Stockport as well is they're trying to compete with the Salfords, who are putting in loads of money. They've got the big owners. Crawley and Fleetwood have done it, promotions in succession, and these fans with 3,000, 4,000 turned up in the National League North, they demand it. Yeah. They demand to compete, and they can't compete with professional clubs.
Absolutely. What can you do?
What's the solution then?
What, more coverage? Do you think?
Well, that's what I mean.
Do you think? What TV channel will pick them up?
Well, funny enough, I ended up watching an England schoolboys match on Free Sports. Have you ever heard of that channel?
I have heard of that channel.
That has the most random. It has like La Liga 2 on it.
I think they're showing
Portuguese League.
I think they're showing La Liga next season.
Really?
Season after, maybe. I could be wrong. Sky Sports haven't got it anymore. But I think with the lower league teams, it is going to be on YouTube now.
I mean, if attendance has dropped as well, generally.
I think it depends on the team. Like you look at Billericay Town and Dulwich Hamlet. They're 2 teams that got massive followings.
One of the problems with the TV coverage at the moment, of course, obviously there's more games, but the TV money for the teams is absolutely nothing.
It's not.
Really.
It's not set.
And normally to fit in with the bigger games at the weekend, they're trying to fill their midweek slots, and away fans aren't going to travel when they're watching on TV.
Like, you're not going to get Gateshead travelling to Torquay on a Thursday night just for a TV
that's got to be the worst journey in football, surely.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, they won't have that next season because Torquay got relegated.
No,
and again, they'll try and stay professional.
Yeah,
just on a side note, is there genuinely a longer journey than that? What is the longest journey?
It used to be Carlisle Torquay.
Carlisle Plymouth.
See, Gateshead's got to be further across.
Carlisle Exeter.
Yeah, there's a few.
That was a
probably a football league, but yeah, Gateshead Torquay.
Yeah, that was a couple of years ago, wasn't it? The last minute, wasn't it?
Yeah. Do you know who scored the winner?
I don't.
Jack Stacey. Looking player.
Doing all right now, isn't he?
He's doing all right for himself, League One player. But going back to, I think going back to the costs of non-league football, Dunstable Town, for example, they've had no money for the whole season. And a couple of years ago, they had a budget and they were unbeaten in the Spartan South Midlands Premier Division. They won the whole league, unbeaten 42 games. But after a couple of years, staying in the Evo 6 Southern League, the money's dried up, new owner, and they played the whole season with no money. So, great level of football, but they're a bit lucky to run the club now.
Yeah, I think one of the other alternatives is looking at the cup competitions. Obviously, with the FA
Cup
in particular, all you hear about now, it used to be the dream of playing the Football League club, going away, and now if you go onto the TV or radio coverage, the first thing you hear for the 15 minutes is this will keep us in business for another year. That's all. It's all changed. It's not about a
Exeter, prime example. In 2005, they got a good cup run. They got to play Manchester United in the third round.
Absolutely. Yeah.
During nearly Old Trafford, and that pretty much saved the club. That's about £1 million. That's enough to pay the players for the rest of the season. And the TV coverage for that game, the replay, pretty much saved the club.
And obviously, for the teams at the top level, the prize money is not such an important now. It's minuscule in the grand scheme of things. Why not filter that prize money down and have more in the lower rounds?
The prize money for winning the extra preliminary round was £1,500. Yeah, that's a lot of money for a non-league side at level at step 6 of the football non-league period. So have a good cup run to get to the first qualifying round, second qualifying round.
The problem is the prize money doesn't grow quickly, does it?
No, it doesn't.
If you're lucky, though, you might have. You do hear the odd story of some lad who goes on to, I don't know, play for a pro team somewhere else, and they get a cut of it. Try to put the top of my head. Like Keshi Anderson, for example. But I don't know if that's a sustainable amount of money that they get. How long?
The deal was £30,000. Crystal Palace paid for him. So that pretty much saved Barton a season and a half, maybe.
Yeah.
Obviously, Barton Rovers have had a bit of trouble with a few thefts.
But the cup competitions filter down as well. I mean, with the FA Trophy, it used to be for the step 3 and 4 teams. It was a dream of getting to Wembley, getting the bigger prize money.
FA Vars as well.
Absolutely, but now they're competing against professional teams in the first and second round, where before they were playing semi-pro. If they got a lucky draw up to the semi-finals,
This season's FA Trophy winners Brackley Town, are they full time?
I don't think they are. I think they were in the.
Was it these who had that 45-year-old playing, or was that the year before? There was one team that won the FA Trophy with the Vars.
I think it was the Vars.
And they had some bloke. Genuinely,
Julie Larker was.
He was at South Shields, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think he.
Won
the. I think they lost it actually, South Shields in that final, but.
Yeah, they had one bloke a few years ago. I can't think. A big, tall, bald fella. He was like 45 or something, but.
Again, now with the Vars and the FA Trophy final, it's a lovely, great finals day at Wembley, but it's on the TV. It detracts fans away.
Yeah.
At that level, is the TV money worth it? Does it work out for the clubs?
I think it's a lot of. There's other things as well. I think it's a lot of administration, like administrative stuff. You can get fined for silly reasons, like not doing your team sheet. You're not posting your team sheet on.
And the things that are more likely to happen at that level, they cut administratively to keep the playing.
That's better at a pie. What was that? What team was that?
Sutton United before the Arsenal game, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the Arsenal game. Yeah, a pie up during the second half. Yeah, you got fined.
I think it's Wayne Shaw, was it?
That's
the sub-keeper. And he was about 43 as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, like
43 stone as well.
Yeah, he went far off.
So, even going to watch a non-league game, you really want to pay £10 to watch a non-league game?
Well, the problem is it's more at most clubs now, isn't it, in the conference? Yeah. I mean, obviously we're both fans of Luton Town, we're from the area. Well, they were in the conference, we were paying 18-20 quid a game, depending on the tier.
The problem is the maximum had to be.
Absolutely, and the away games, going to terrace grounds with no cover, and it's the same price.
I think I remember paying about 18-20 quid to watch Alfreton away. Alfreton in Derbyshire, I think it was.
I tell you what, we went to Salisbury City away, I think it was. It was £16.
I remember.
It was in a recreation centre.
It was
the complex. It was a recreation complex. It wasn't even a football club or anything. It was the recreation centre. And the year after, they got demoted because of the financial.
They got the finance. Yeah, Salisbury. Salisbury, another team.
And half their players ended up at Bristol Rovers and they went flying up there.
Yeah, it's funny that, isn't it, actually? I mean, I went to Luton a few times, but they were playing someone like Gravesend and Northfleet. or something like that. It was a team that had double, something like that. Julian Dix was manager, whoever that was.
Oh yeah. Oh, Grace Athletic.
Was it Grace Athletic? Sorry, no, tell I. And I swear on my life, admittedly it was free. I got free tickets because of my job. But I swear on my life, is it Grace Athletic?
Yeah.
They must have had 26 fans, genuinely sat in the corner. And then, the point I'm making is, they were in the conference at the time.
Yeah.
Luton, I don't know,
I think
say there was
Hyde
7,000 people there or something. How is a club like that going to sustain when... I mean, Grays Athletic, what was that, Essex? And Essex, yeah. I mean, exaggerate, it's 26, but it wasn't even 100 people.
How do they compete, though?
Well, that's what I mean.
There were so many Luton games where the away attendance under 100 in the
conference. I think, the teams over push how big of a club they are.
Absolutely.
They've...
Well, is it do they pay big money for... I mean, for example, you look at Villa... I know we're going a bit higher up, but the point being is that they spent a ton of money, didn't go up this year.
Yes.
I mean, is that what cripples some of these clubs? They for 1 year, they just piled money into these players.
But the National League clubs staying professional and hope again up next year, that's their equivalent. Because their running costs are their expenditure, their big costs, compared to the other clubs.
Do you think it's easier now with more playoff games?
I think the changes have helped this year. The one problem is, obviously, for teams finishing second and third, there's no real carrot now. I know they skipped the quarter final, but they're still playing the same equivalent, just without the two legs. But
even they're not two-legged ties now.
Absolutely.
So the away team doesn't really get the money to host the game. Obviously buying food, drink, programs.
Yeah.
You might buy a shirt on the day. I don't know, scarves, half enough scarves. Them. But yeah, obviously that club will lose out on money.
I guess it'll take a few years to see. But again, the team who finished second this year went up, didn't they? I guess the only problem is if there is a 6th and a 7th place, yes, 2 more teams get in, but does that mean that more teams finish in 15th, 16th and then chasing a dream again and putting more money in?
Bournemouth finished 6th. They got to the final.
Yeah, lost it.
Braintree came 6th. Braintree came 6th and got promoted.
Absolutely,
in the National League South. So
would it help if you split the league? In Scotland.
I don't think anyone wants to go down that route. I think we've seen how that works. Unfortunately,
because structuring the league now the FA are trying to make it the non-league game obviously more local, more regionalised, and that's caused a lot of hassle over the last 2 months. Trying this team's going here, this team's going here,
right?
And I don't think they've sorted that out properly now, and that's in the lower league. This is regionalised. I think it's better for the National League North and South. I think there's some teams that are in the South that get pushed into the National League North and vice versa, which I don't think is fair. Like Oxford City, how they in the National League North.
Well, I think that's one of the problems, isn't it?
It's awful. That's awful for them.
Because because of the finance, it's much easier to obviously run teams in the London area, and some of the teams just above. So teams in our sort of area, the Hemel Hempsteads, the Hitchins, if they come up, the St Albans, they could well end up in the National League North, and they've got to travel up to Blythe Spartans and things like that every other week. That's impossible.
It's a fly.
But you think about the cost. Do they fly? Do they get a 10-hour coach? Do they stay overnight? It's all running costs.
Obviously, staying in the hotel overnight does cost a lot of money. I don't know how Luton done it, considering that after the second season they pretty much nearly, I didn't say they went bust, but that cost them a lot of money not to get promoted after the second season, losing the Perth final to FC Wimbledon.
That's the only reason they survived, wasn't it? Was 3 or 4 years they were being funded by an owner. They weren't being funded by the running costs. They weren't running it even. They were losing $500,000 a year.
Yeah. Do you think some of the owners get too ambitious and then decide to back out?
There's some big names in that National League North. I'm just looking here on the. You got Stockport County.
I mean, York and Stockport obviously stand out.
Yeah, Boston United obviously.
But Stockport have been down there years now.
The FC United of Manchester. What happened to them? I thought they were going to do like an AFC Wimbledon sort of Phoenix from the Flames.
I'm guessing the finances ran out, didn't they?
I think they have. They've been struggling the last couple of seasons.
I tell you who actually. It must have been about 6 or 7 years ago. But I took the local district side up to Durham. That was it. There used to be the tour in Durham. Craig and I didn't go because our manager was a pain in the arse. But anyway,
I wonder who that manager was.
But we didn't go. But I went up there and basically. They can say this. I can't remember the fella's name now. He used to play for Middlesbrough. Craig
Hignett?
Not Craig Hignett. No. Craig something else. I'll get his name in a minute. But anyway, he was manager of Darlington. Is it Darlington? Is that the one who had that massive stadium that basically went bust?
That's what put my money.
Yeah. So he was manager of them, and he said that they were that short of money. They'd scrapped everything. So his day-to-day thing was he was managing the first team, doing the training during the first team for the during the day. He would then do the resis in the afternoon. Then he'd have to do the under-16s in the evening, and somehow squeeze the under-18s in there at some point, and they just run out of money. But that was like, I don't know the story behind that. It was like this massive stadium. But
I've got your name. It's Craig Cooper.
Craig? No, it's not Craig Cooper.
Not Craig Cooper.
Was it Craig Cooper? Hang on.
Colin Cooper, that was Colin Cooper.
Yeah, no, not Craig. Craig Liddell. That's the one. Craig Liddell.
Was he playing for? Did he play for Sheffield United?
Might have done, yeah. Not too sure.
Is it Art Laporte?
But the point being is, like you say, I think they gambled on doing well, didn't they? And was it a 20,000 seat stadium or something crazy like that?
So many of them come from the stadiums as well.
Then,
Russian and Diamonds was similar. They were talking about the stadium, and then it all went pear. But they were in League One for a little while, weren't they? Or the equivalent of back then.
I remember watching one of the first Olympic games against Russian and Diamonds.
We got a few players from there when we were in the championship.
Yeah, we did.
As well.
Underwood.
David Bell was there as well.
David Bell.
Yeah.
He was actually a good player. Did he go Birmingham? Did he go Birmingham City?
He went to someone like that. Yeah, I think so.
Incredible. Some footballers.
Cody, I'm kind of looking at your notes and you've got the bar chart there. What's the bar chart?
My bar chart is moving on a bit more to the second part of this, which obviously it's non-league and grassroots football. So let's move on to something that's a bit more personal.
Well, like a local Sunday league.
Our local Sunday league. So it's something that's directly affected all of us at times. We've all been involved in teams that have folded, mostly during the middle of a season. And we've We've all played for clubs and we've played against teams who we played for the first time, expected to see them in 3 months and never seen them again. Seen them in the pub 3 years later.
Or cup quarter final.
So I've got some stats for you. I'm taking Craig's role for this moment.
I love stats.
So over 16s participation in football once a week. Doesn't matter competitive or not.
Does this include like 5-a-side and stuff like that?
5-a-side, 11-a-side, any level of football.
I'll go on about 5-a-side another day, but
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't think that counts?
no, I don't.
It will in the
Keep
future.
fit. That's not a game.
I mean, overall, in the last 10 years, so I've got 05-06, got nearly 5% of the population playing. 2015-16, moving on 10 years, nearly 200,000 less people a week.
Wow,
200,000. And I've got you for organised competitions as well. We've all been involved in leagues that have folded and had to move across and go on longer journeys on our Sunday mornings.
Yeah.
2007-8, 30% of those people playing football each week, about 960,000, playing in an organised competition at least once a month. How many in 2015-16? Down to 670,000. Almost a third of the people gone.
Where have they gone though? Why have they gone, more importantly?
Is it the cost again?
I think it is a bit of a cost because trying to hire out a football pitch every week is like 60 quid.
Plus the ref.
Plus the ref is another £30. And then you try and get subs.
Kit, nets, washing the kit.
Yeah. You try and get players to pay £5 just for subs every week, and it's just not going to happen.
I mean, realistically, most of the teams in our local area were relying on the sponsorship of a pub to fund them for the year, to fund the kit.
The problem is a lot of the pubs are dying as well, isn't it?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Do
I was just reading completely off topic. In Luton,
yeah.
In 1988 there was 100 pubs in Luton. We're down to less than 44 now.
I'm not surprised with the population and the demographic, no, not at all.
But like you say, so I don't know how many Sunday teams even run out of a pub anymore.
Not many, and the thing is, you get fined. I said you get fined for stupid reasons, like the team doesn't turn up. Oh well, that's another 15, 20 quid.
Not having a captain's armband.
Different colour socks and tape.
Yeah.
Not starting the game with 11 players because one's 5 minutes late, stuck in the local McDonald's.
That has happened before.
But I don't know. That sounded like a grumpy old man who's actually younger than 30. I do think that like the way that people go out on the piss until 5, 6 in the morning hasn't helped, because the last thing you want to do after a session on the source is then go, right, I'm going to run around for 90 minutes chasing people. I think
I've
maybe
had
that's
bad moments of that.
But what I mean is, for example, like you read those facts.
It's
10 years ago, there was nightclubs and bars, but they I'm going to sound really old, and they weren't as open as late as they are now. Like, a lot of these places don't shut till 5. You go to London, you can do like a 24-hour session. No wonder people would rather be on the piss than what they would playing football. I think. Is that part of it as well? I don't know.
Yeah, I think one of the reasons they're probably the people who can afford to play football. There are plenty who would absolutely love to play football on a Sunday morning.
They want to play football.
They can't afford the cost.
Yeah. Well,
most leagues now, it's a £25-30 registration per player, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Pay for the league.
To register.
To register, the last season I played 2 or 3 years ago was £25 registration fee, with a promise of a 12-team game and a minimum of 24 games including cups.
Yeah, and
we ended up playing 11, 12 maybe after season.
Yeah, but there was about 7 players.
Absolutely.
And that's the thing. There's not many teams, and I said, do people want to really get up 9:30 on Sunday morning?
And pay for the privilege of it as well.
Yeah, obviously the ideal is to play for fun, not just it's a chore now.
Yeah,
and it's your relief out of a weekend to go enjoy yourself before you go back to work on a Monday.
I think one of the other problems as well is the council pitches. I know you mentioned
the pitches are terrible.
The prices on average have gone up about 25% in the last 10 years. And you're playing on pitches covered in dog droppings.
Well, they cut the grass out once every sort of leap year, don't they?
My local team, Corey Green, council own the pitch up at Crawley Green's Sports and Social Club. And
LU2.
no,
go on.
7AE. That's a school actually. That's Carl Newman's. But yeah, they get cut once a month, and then you're having teams come like the other side of Bedfordshire, thinking, "Oh, Crawley Green, big club in Luton, biggest amateur club in Luton."
But you're in the same position.
Yeah, and the council come, and then you think, "Is that it?"
You're praying for a month of low rainfall, so your grass doesn't grow too much.
What I would rather pay my money on is linesmen. I hate playing football with club linesmen. Yeah. Like for me, that is the worst thing about.
That's the pinnacle of Sunday morning football, though.
I know, but it's just I can't. It does my head in, honestly.
I think I do agree. We need like officials on the linesmen now.
But then, how does that help the cost? Because then you're
talking
another 25
quid. You still got to pay money to pay the linesmen.
You say that, but supposedly Wembley's meant to be sold for this ridiculous amount of money.
Yeah,
and it's meant to be reinvested in grassroots football, and
But
we've heard that story before.
How are you going to cut costs on that?
No, what I mean is I think some of it should go on coaching, which we'll probably talk about in a few weeks.
Yeah,
something like that. But I also think that you should maybe subsidise the cost of a referee. Pitches and stuff that are sort of up to local councils. But surely that money could be put into let's get more people. I know we're moving on to the second topic.
But how long does that work for across the country? That money runs out very quickly.
Do you know?
Consider the number of games.
I found out the South Midlands League. Do you know how much the Premier Divisions are paying for a referee for next season, 2018-19?
Go on.
£50
a game.
So some referees will
That's
get
more than most players
£50.
are in that league, isn't it?
I'm getting paid nothing.
What are their obligations aside from the match? Bar inspecting the players.
I think it's fuel money.
If you're smart, you do a game on a Saturday, say. Yep. If you're a qualified referee, game on a Saturday, 50 quid. What do you get on Sunday? 30?
Yeah.
So that's £80 for the weekend.
25.
Maybe get a game on a Tuesday if you're really keen.
If you're
you get a game on a Wednesday. No, but even in South Mids. Say you're in the South Mids.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
South Midlands. So you could do South Midlands on a Saturday. So I don't know, any sort of semi-pro team on a Saturday.
Yeah.
Sunday morning, that's 80 quid in your pocket there. A game on a Tuesday and a Wednesday at like semi-professional level. So say South Midlands or Evo Stick, all this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So that's another £100. Mm-hmm. And then the same again. So that's what time was it? 360 quid.
Yeah.
Plus on top, that's easy money. Why would you bother being a footballer? Surely, it would be worth just doing
a job, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, do you know, it's just that's more than what a lot of players would be on for those games.
Can you make officials full time in that sort of standard of?
God no, they're not far off it. You get 360 quid a week. It's not, that's what best part of.
Some part timers are getting a supermarket.
I mean, I know you're not going to get those games every week, but you still on a good month, you've got to be looking at nearly £900, surely, just from refereeing. If you're that good, I mean,
if you're good enough, then you earn the money. But if you're not good enough, why should I pay you?
But this is where we're on about the cost. I mean, 50 quid is a lot for a football team to pay, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what's the line? I suppose you've got the linesman in. So you're talking nearly £100 a game on officials.
Yeah.
That's crazy, guys. £100 a game.
And then obviously, if some teams are ground sharing, some teams get paid 4 or 5 grand to ground share for a season. You're 4 or 5 grand down already, and you're not going to get the spectators coming in.
No, you're paying like £5 a head. You'd like to get.
If you're paying 5-6, you're paying 5-6 quid, and then your local club is literally 5, 6, 7 miles away, for example. You're not going to get the attendances. You're not going to be in your hundreds or even 70s.
I think that one of the problems as well with the areas of most of the pitch, most of the pitch we're talking about games that are going to be frozen or waterlogged for 2-3 months of the year because of the standard of pitches. They're not maintained, they're not kept, they're in poor areas. A lot of Sunday League teams in particular, you're still paying half of the cost, you're still paying for half of the refereeing cost just for turning up and inspecting the pitch. Things like that. You can't ask for subs when you're not playing or you're not even getting changed to get your kit on, and you're still expected to pay.
I think it's pretty bad that that the pitch is bad. It's very like waterlogged, for example, with puddles all over the pitch, and then you have to get the referee to come out, hit his bed to say, "Oh, it's off. Oh, I have half my money now."
If both teams are in agreement, that should be out of area.
Yeah, but just to sort of wrap it up a bit more, is there a way of getting around it? Then is there a way that you could increase people to play? How do you make it cheaper? I suppose is what I'm saying.
I think at the top level, we've got to look at getting the National League and the leagues below in particular all out of professional teams because it's not something that's sustainable. It's been proven. It's a direct correlation since it started happening with the teams going
nationally. I think
correlation, by the way.
National League can use. I think National League should use full timers. Not National League North and South is I think part time.
But it's still technically it's the top semi-professional league.
So that would maybe affect those
guys. You get people
then.
redundant in a way.
So that would affect those guys, like you're saying, at that sort of level. But what happens Sunday mornings, or us sort of lads? How do we make it cheaper for us?
I think we're partly relying on councils, particularly with the council use pitches to subsidise slightly.
Yeah, it depends on the council. Luton Borough Council is terrible.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to be honest. It wouldn't surprise me if in the next few years Sunday football in this area.
There's not many.
I don't know.
There's not many teams in
this area.
Luton.
It'll go.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think it depends on the area.
Why pay for a pitch comparatively, particularly at children's football, when you can just go and get 14 kids and go and play in a park on a day when it's not being used for nothing?
True. 5-a-side pitches. That's the way forward.
No, it's not.
That's another argument for another day. I
will argue on that one.
Oh, I think we talk. I think we've done quite well on that one, boys. Actually, so I think that one's put to bed. Get this professional from conference onwards, and lower leagues below that just have to fight for yourself. Really hope the council will bail you out.
Good luck, lads. FA Cup, that's the way to go.
Very good. So the shit list, Craig. What is this?
Shit list is back.
What's the history behind it?
The history of the shit list is I was very bored one random day and watching Premier League years on Sky Sports and going through the years from 1992 onwards to today. I'm looking up at there's some really, really shit footballers.
Are these people who just pissed you off, basically?
These are players that piss me off. Some players are good. Some of the players are going to be like, why the hell you put them in there, you idiot? And some you're like, yeah, it's a good shout. That's a really good shout.
So it's not about quality necessarily.
Not necessarily about quality.
Could it be that they've done one thing wrong in an
one
otherwise
thing wrong
illustrious
in my life,
career?
in their career that I deemed
one thing
wrong.
to upset you.
Yeah, to upset me.
So who's in first then? Who's the first inductee?
The first
to the hall of
inductee
shitness
into the shit list. He used to play for Portsmouth. Used to play for Portsmouth.
Trying to say they were shit, to be fair, weren't they?
Yeah, they were terrible.
And they had a high influx of players.
Higher influx of players, and the money went gone. So we can go back to the old
back to the old
topic. Got somehow a money deal to Manchester City and other clubs.
There's quite a funny story behind that, isn't there?
Yeah, it is a funny story. We'll get onto that. His name is Benjani. Benjani, 119 Premier League appearances over 4 Premier League clubs.
How many goals did he get?
How many do you think he got?
I'm not going to go. No, I haven't. I'm genuinely not looking.
I'm going to go for the 20s, low 20s maybe.
26. So you're doing alright. You're doing alright. For a striker like Benjani, well, he didn't even score in his first 14 games for Portsmouth in the he joined in 2005.
But still became a fan's favourite.
He became a fan's favourite.
So why is he on the shit list?
He pretty much got him safe that season, even though with Pedro.
You're not selling him as a shit list, man.
No, I'll get to that. Do you know who recommended Benjani?
I do.
To Harry Redknapp?
I do.
No, who did? I don't know this. I don't know these sort of stories. Go on.
Arsene Wenger recommended him.
Oh, come on.
Seriously, Arsene Wenger watched him in the French league, or one of these guys watched him in the French league. Obviously, he wasn't good enough for Arsenal, clearly. So he recommended him to Harry Redknapp and struggling in Portsmouth at the time.
So why didn't Wenger buy him if he was that good?
Well, he didn't buy him. I don't know
why. That's what I'm saying. Why didn't he? If he was that's the first question I would ask if I'm Harry Redknapp. Why don't you want him then?
Well, Harry Redknapp likes a wheeling deal. But obviously, Portsmouth stayed up that season, 2005-2006, and survived another season after 2006-2007. Scored a couple of goals, and then 2007-2008 is when he come to his own. Really, scored a hat trick for Portsmouth against Reading in that 7-4 game.
My favourite Premier League game.
Why is it your favourite Premier League game?
I just remember the coverage of it. It was a 3 o'clock kickoff.
Chris Kamara was in his element that day.
It was fantastic. It's a day I'll never forget.
I've got to be honest, lads. You're not really selling it to me that you should be on the shit list because he's
I'm getting there.
Was this when they won the FA Cup as well? Was he in that team?
I think he'd left by then.
No, he left. I'll get to that. January 2008, he got signed by Sven-Göran Eriksson to join Manchester City. What for? £8 million. £8 million at that time. It's quite
When
ridiculous.
was it? 10 years ago?
It's 2007, yeah.
Was that the first year of their money bags? Was it the
Their
Toyo
first
the year
year,
before?
Toyo,
Was that Alano and...
Yeah, Toyo.
That was it, yeah.
Yeah.
What was the bald one? Bulgarian.
Martin Petrov.
Martin Petrov.
Yeah, he was.
He went
He had
that bad,
a
actually.
great
Yeah,
left foot.
They had some awful players there.
So-
Did I still have Orlando Bianchi back then? Bernardo Corradi. They had all the Italians that couldn't score.
The Rocky Santa Cruz.
I'll tell you that, you don't need this on Sky Sports.
No. So, he didn't want to leave Portsmouth.
Didn't you try and put on a plane? Is that right, Harry Redknapp?
But Harry Redknapp was like, okay, look, Ben John, unfortunately, we need money at the club. We're going to have to sell you. So, Ben Johnny went to the airport and missed 2 flights to Manchester. And so Manchester City rang Portsmouth and said, he hasn't turned up yet. So Harry Redknapp was on the phone. Ben Johnny, look, you've got to go. Look, we need the money. Sod off, fuck off, basically.
Yeah, I'm just reading here that didn't they were relying on him going to then buy Defoe. Is
I
that
think
right?
they'd already bought Defoe in anticipation of him.
Oh,
leaving. I
yeah.
think that's where the
They
problem
needed
was.
the money.
We know Portsmouth's financial problems at the time.
So, and then obviously joined Man City. Didn't really score after that. So he's a half-season wonder.
Can I point out one thing at City? He did score on his debut in the Manchester derby.
Yes,
The
but
winner.
what did he do after that? Nothing.
You don't
He's
need to do
half-season
anything after
wonder.
that.
Half-season wonder.
I still don't see how that warrants him being in the shit list. Like, what's he specifically done that's pissed you off? The fact that he's just had half a season.
I think if you get half-season, you join another club, and you're scoring a good runner from goals. I have to give him credit. He was on a good runner for.
Absolutely.
To do absolutely nothing for the next club.
But to be fair, he's one of many who have done that.
Yes, and that's why we'll get to other players.
I mean,
and then he'll be joining in next week.
Surely
Johnny.
he's Zimbabwean's best player behind Peter Rundlove. Like,
Oh,
he's
what
got-
a player.
No, 2 different strikers though, Pete and
okay.
Johnny.
Oh yeah, and Bruce Grobbelaar, he was
Bruce,
Zimbabwean.
yeah,
wasn't he?
Bruce.
So he's probably the
Oh,
third best Zimbabwean expert.
Yeah, because no one else has joined any other club in Zimbabwe. I don't know. So yeah, total flop. So he went to Blackburn afterwards.
Him and Benny McCarthy, is that right? No, it was Benny McCarthy. I always get him and Ben Johnny mixed up.
You get those 2 guys mixed up
Which
all the
is
time.
not racist, I promise.
So obviously couldn't hit a banjo with
A cow in the arse with a banjo. That's the one.
at Blackburn, and he got released. And guess where he went to train?
He went to train Arsenal.
He went to do a bit of training at Stockport County.
Oh, we've talked about them already.
Didi
He probably
Hamann.
deserves going on the shit list for that, to be
Yeah,
honest. What was the man at Stockport County?
He's manager of Stockport County.
He wasn't, was he?
Yeah, he was.
I do not remember that. What
He
were
did
they,
last
League
long.
2 or what? Were they?
I think they're in the National League.
Have they gone there by that point? Surely not.
Yeah, they've been down for
That's
ages.
nearly as bad. Do you remember?
Did Stockport get relegated before Luton did?
It might have been the same year, actually. Yeah.
No, they weren't the same year.
What?
It was us, Luton, and...
Oh, we went because we were the minus 30.
It
That might have been the year before then, yeah. Not long before.
wasn't Grimsby. Grimsby
He
survived.
probably deserves to be in the shit list for that.
Awful striker.
Did he play for
Weird
Sunderland as
celebration.
well?
Yeah, he played for Sunderland as well.
Didn't do very well there. I know
Oh,
that.
I've
Who
got
does
to
well
say
for
though,
Sunderland?
he did score in the Coupe de France final for Auxerre. He scored the opening goal.
That's probably where they
That's great, but that was before Premier League.
No, but I'm just saying, it's just like, I'm not convinced he should be in the shit list. Craig.
I agree with Charlie, to be fair.
I don't know why you think Ben Joy should not be in the shit list.
He just reminds me of the type of player I am. Very little talent. But he does everything for the team. He does everything. He's a Kevin Davis. He's an Emil Heskey. He just holds up the ball. He does everything. He brings his teammates in.
Kevin Davis had a role, and it worked. That's what he did well. So
Well, you just said Benjani kept Portsmouth up. He obviously
no,
worked.
because Matt Taylor and Pedro Mendes did that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just looking here that he was on the verge of a move to Notts County. Do you remember when they got taken over by...
Sven,
Because Sol Campbell and Casper Schmeichel went.
Yeah, and
So Sven was in charge.
Yeah.
And it was all fraudulent, wasn't it? I didn't realise
Yeah,
that until recently. I watched that programme with Sven-Goran Eriksson. And yeah, it was some fraudster who said, yeah, if you give me... Was it 800,000 or 80 grand? I can't remember what it was.
Sven lost a lot of money.
Yeah, he lost a fortune, didn't he? Because he said, look, if you front the money up, we'll take Notts County to the Premier League. And then it turns out he had no money himself.
I can't believe Sol Campbell played in League 2.
Well, he went for the... He was getting
He scored
more...
one goal. I'm sure he scored
Yeah,
one
but
goal.
he
One of his
got-
first
he got
goals.
more playing for...
Morecambe. He played as Morecambe.
He got more playing for Notts County in League 2 than I think what he was getting. He would have got offered. I think he got offered like Blackburn,
Newcastle,
Stoke, and
yeah.
other teams. And yeah, right. So well,
a vote.
to sum it up, Daniel Cody, do you think Ben
Johnny
Johnny should be in the
shit
list?
I think it's fair, Charlie, that we're both in disagreement with this. So Craig's obviously going to have his own way. He's obviously dictating this list, but it's fair to say we're both in strong disagreement.
Okay, well, moving
I
on from
can't
that
believe
then.
you two disagree on that. That is absolutely...
No, I
Brendan
think if
Fay
he's-
will be delighted.
If he's on the list, he should be. He should be in there. However, I don't think there's much disagreement about the next person. So who's next to be inducted?
Is it Harry Redknapp double today? I don't know why. I've got no problems with Harry Redknapp. I like Harry Redknapp. This guy played for West Ham and Derby in the Premier League. Goalkeeper. His name is Stephen Bywater. Charlie, you're a West Ham fan.
His debut was possibly the best debut of anyone I've ever seen.
That's the first bit on my notes. Made debut against Bradford, conceded 4.
The annoying thing about that was I think Trevor Sinclair scored an absolute pearler of a volley in that game. No one remembers it because Stephen Bywater had an absolute stinker.
I do remember that game that Di Canio and Lampard were arguing over a penalty.
No, is that one of those?
That was a game Di Canio sat down next to...
I refused to play.
I refused to play.
But everyone forgets that because of Stephen Bywater.
Yeah, I remember his day.
How old was he? He was about 19.
He made his debut.
That's not entirely his fault, though.
Because he did 4 goals.
I know, but not many keepers get thrown.
Nah, 2 of them were howlers.
Two of them were howlers. I think he got lobbed by...
Well, did anyone watch the Champions League final last week? Young goalkeepers never works.
No, that's true. Yeah.
Well, I'll get on to Karius another
Day
day.
United.
Although he was... apparently... He was trained by ex-Luton legend Les Seeley.
Yes,
that was his.
Yes, he was. God bless him. Les Seeley was a good goalkeeper, actually.
I think that was the inspiration for his shirt number, wasn't it? Sure, it was something.
Yeah, he kept his...
Did he pass like 4-3?
Yeah, he kept
I mean, I've got to be honest.
It's not all bad, then.
He got sent out on loan 6 times.
He played for a lot of clubs.
While at West Ham, he got sent out on loan. So he got sent out on loan to Hull, Wolves, Cardiff, Coventry and Derby. He started for Derby in the Premier League in 2007-2008, which is officially the worst side in the Premier League.
Oh, how many did they go down with?
They got 11
points.
That's ridiculous.
That's Steve Howard that year, didn't they? And Kenny Miller up front. Steve Howard and Kenny Miller.
Steve Howard scored at Old Trafford.
Kenny Miller gets he's still delivering that fella, doesn't he? He gets the big moves all the time. And
he somehow gets Rangers Celtic,
and he always ends falling out.
Falling out managers. He's probably an arrogant shit.
Yeah.
How bad of a player he must be. He's in the worst Premier League side. He's probably got about 6 points at the time, and he gets sent out on loan.
Yeah, you've got to be asking questions of yourself then if you're getting sent out on loan.
I think they signed Roy Carroll for Derby.
Was he in goal? Who was in goal before him then?
What?
At Derby.
What, Bywater?
Yeah.
Ooh.
They had a few in between, but the first regular I think was Mark Poom in the early 2000s. But he went to Arsenal, didn't he? So that was a few years before.
Yeah. Did you also know that he got Claire Tomlinson sacked from goals on Sunday?
Did he?
Yeah, he said the C word on air.
Stephen Bywater did?
Yeah, on air.
I didn't know this.
He said the C word, I remember this very well. He said the C word live on air, and Claire Tomlinson didn't apologise for him spelling it out. He spelled it out.
She got sacked for that?
Yeah, she didn't apologise, and she got sacked for it.
That's shocking. That is
shocking.
That's
another reason why he's in the shit list, Charlie.
No, okay, yeah, I'll give you that, yeah.
And he's had an awful haircut all his life, but apparently he's an absolute madman. We won't go into details of his personal life, but
I'm sure you might say it in the news.
it has probably been in the news recently.
Yes.
But Cody used to be a goalkeeper. What do you think of?
He did play for Millwall as well. Anyone goes from West Ham to Millwall?
Yeah, that's a start.
He's not going to shit list for that.
He was recently at Burton.
I mean, it's fair to say he was erratic at best, wasn't he? I think the one thing you look for in a keeper is consistency.
Yeah, he's no Gabor Kirai.
Absolutely. Oh, that's another argument for
him. Gabor Kirai.
When we make a godlike list, he'll be on that
one. you can make a godlike list if you want
to. We'll frame his tracksuit.
Did he play in India as well, Stephen Bywater?
He did. He played for the Kerala Blasters. I think, was David James there at the first time?
David James, yeah.
He'd been bankrupt about 18 times by that point, David James, didn't he?
I mean, that league never really took off in the end, did it?
Berbatov didn't rain. So, verdict, Stephen Bywater, shit list.
Oh, 100%.
Complete agreement.
100%.
Absolutely.
Again. Okay, fantastic. So, Stephen Bywater in the shit list, and Ben Johnny.
Not having that.
What do you mean not having that?
No. I will let them both in, but Bywater's definitely in.
Bywater's definitely got number one. Having as a starting lineup.
Yeah, he's definitely got starting goal. Yeah, Ben Johnny on the bench.
Ben Johnny's making the bench.
I think my other goalkeepers on my list, but at the moment Bywater is.
Until otherwise discussed.
I think you'll have a few goalkeepers by the end. They're so much easier.
No, not really. I don't think I have many on my list.
If you ever touch Gabor there.
No, Gabor.
I'll be resigning immediately.
No, Gabor would never make the list. Just because he was at Euro 2016.
And Speroni for that matter.
No, Speroni's Tony. No, Speroni's awful.
Speroni has signed a new contract.
Between him and Alex Manning.
Can I point out, when did Crystal Palace's resurgent form last season start? When Wayne Hennessy went out the team, Speroni back in.
I'm not sure.
2 years no playing, didn't notice he was away.
Speroni somehow signed a new contract. I think they just signed a new goalkeeper, Palace, as well.
Well, it's because you have to have 3 keepers now, realistically, don't you?
It's true, actually.
What a good trainer I heard he is.
I do have another goalkeeper, but that'd be safe for another day.
Very good,
so
right.
it's a toss-up between him and Stephen Bywell. So Stephen Bywell, goalkeeper, number 1 for the shit list.
In. There he goes. Okay, topic number 2.
Yes.
Our favourite people in the football match, referees. So I've got a few stats. I'll open the floor in a minute, but just admittedly, this study was done a year ago, so figures might have changed ever so slightly. But in this country, basically what has been noted is there's a massive decline. What I can't remember what the word was we said about referees in crisis. Is it a crisis or is it not? I mean, the beginning of last year there were 27,000 refs registered. Various different levels, all the way from Mike Dean down to your Sunday morning.
Horace Savage.
Horace Savage, yeah. But of that 27,000, on average, 7,000 a year give up refereeing within the first year. So you're talking about like 7,000 out of 27,000. Obviously, that's 7,000. But it's quite a lot.
Quick maths there, Charlie. Quick maths.
But so just some little facts and figures before we open it up. 60% of referees said they've experienced verbal abuse in the first 1 or 2 years of... 1 in 2 games. So out of every 2 games, in at least one game, they'll get some sort of verbal abuse that is not just that's never a throw, like swearing, threatening, all sorts. This is quite shocking. 19% of referees have endured physical abuse. So obviously, breaking that personal space. This is the bit that got me the most, I've got to be honest. In 15 months, so I think it was going back from sort of pretty much towards the end of 2016 to the end of 2017, there were 3,731 incidents involving adults at kids' football. So, you got your kids' football. Over 3,500 times a referee has been like punched, shouted at, abused, whatever, at kids' football. There was a quite famous one. A 63-year-old referee in Wales was assaulted at an under-13 match. Like 63, he's barely more or less a pensioner.
That in the news,
and the worst one out of all of them, and it isn't funny at all, is that there was a linesman who was actually kicked to death in Holland. I don't know if you read about that. It was a few years ago. Yeah. But basically, this was in like a kids match. I don't know what happened, but the parents jumped him and then kicked him to death, literally. So that's obviously why they're in decline. I'm not sticking up for referees because I've had my fair share of run-ins with them, as I'm sure we all have playing football. But I don't know what your thoughts on it are, but there's some really obviously damning statistics of why we're getting rid of them, and it links a little bit to what we were saying earlier about the cost. Probably the cost of the cost of referees is so high is there's so few of them who actually want to do it. I mean, I've got to be honest, I did it when I was at 15. I was a linesman for adult football, and it was the worst experience of my life. I got called all sorts of names, and I was shit, to be honest. I probably deserved it, but the fact is that I think like there's a little thing here that they did a study at Loughborough University in Portsmouth. Interviewed referees, etc. And no. It's in Portsmouth University, like two different Loughborough and Portsmouth.
Oh right,
you
said Loughborough in Portsmouth.
I meant Loughborough and Portsmouth. Sorry, Loughborough and Portsmouth University. And actually, they said that a lot of referees don't put stuff through because they're actually scared of like repercussions afterwards. So if they send a player off,
I agree on that.
We all played for a Sunday team. I don't know if you remember this, but I actually got sent off, which was a ridiculous decision, by the way. The referee,
I remember this very well.
Not given a penalty. I mean, the bloke nearly assaulted our centre forward. I've seen people arrested for less. So I said, "Oh, you're having a laugh." I might have thrown in, "You're having an effing laugh" in there. To which he sent me off, but quite humorously, he didn't take my name. So what I had to do was, at the end of the game, I jumped in the boot of someone's car because I was hoping then he wouldn't put my red card through, and obviously I wouldn't get like £50 fine and a few games back.
We were in a title run that season, weren't we?
Yeah, and so I hid in a boot so I didn't get my thing put through. But actually, some referees deliberately don't put them through because they're scared of getting beaten up and stuff afterwards, which is terrible, to be honest. I mean, I say that I played in a game a couple of years ago, and I got in a bit of an altercation, and basically a bloke he elbowed me in the back of the head from a corner. When the ref wasn't looking, I sort of volleyed him in the chest, and then he turned around and like swung at me a few times, which the ref saw, sent him off. We were due to play in the next week. He hadn't even put it through, and then I got hiding in the car park afterwards by him. But that's a different story for a different time. The point is that the ref was so scared of this fella that he actually didn't put the red card through, and I sort of think to a point,
Yeah, it's not. I think it's two different. I don't agree. In most abuses to referees, it should be liable. Kids football, I think, is totally out of order for parents who abuse the ref. Let the kids enjoy themselves.
It's the way that kids in our country are brought up, isn't it? It's all about competition, and there's no need.
Do you obviously slightly off the top of the referees, but do you think they're spoiled? Kids are spoiled by what we've got in the Premier League?
Well, I think the Premier League don't set a good example. I mean, we've all played. I've seen Wayne Rooney.
The respect campaign started after Ashley Cole abused Mike Friday against for Chelsea against Spurs.
Yeah.
And that's obviously started from there. Has it improved?
Well, that's my point. I've seen Wayne Rooney when he was playing for, I think it was United a couple of years ago, and he genuinely went up to the referee and said, "That's effing shit," blah blah. Like the list of expletives was endless, and there's obviously kids watching that. If any of us three here said that on a Sunday morning or a Saturday afternoon, I guarantee it'd be a red card straight away, and and rightly so, because you shouldn't be giving abuse to official.
No.
But why is it that if I said that or you said that, we'd be red carded straight away, even with half of what he said? But because he's in, it's the intensity of the game. That's rubbish.
I think the thing is that the media's scrutiny's further in the Premier League. Obviously, because there's the media cameras, that's how we know they've said it.
Yeah.
In the Sunday League, the referees don't have that defence. So many of the ones who do survive are now acting as an authoritarian to try and keep it under control, and they stop everything, and it causes more of a problem. But you can't blame them for doing it.
No.
It's not like they have video proof of someone abusing you. Not every team's going to record the game.
Absolutely.
So it's harder for the referees in grassroots football, as compared to like in the Premier League.
Absolutely.
Or Football League.
I do have one incident where I do lose my respect a little bit. So
no, because that's the next point I'm going to move on to.
There's no denying. We've all abused, not abused. We've all kicked up a fuss to the referee over a poor decision.
Let's be honest, because sometimes they are shit. There's no. No one should deserve to be abused, punched, and stuff. However, they do need to sometimes look at themselves and think, I probably could have avoided that if I'd used a bit of common sense.
I think one that hit me, Charles, we had a game about 4 years ago, and there were a couple of our players who, the ringer type, the one who came in for one game, and they were abusing this referee. He was diabolical, don't get me wrong, but they were abusing him endlessly. He was given a penalty for everything, and it was just getting out of control. We didn't know the offside rule and all that. I asked my players to stop showing dissent. I just asked them to stop. I said, look, he's rubbish. Don't worry about it. I just shouted. I said, look, both teams, he's rubbish. Just leave him alone. Let's just have a game of football. The referee sent me off. In fact, asking the players to stop showing dissent, he said, but you called me rubbish.
Yeah, I think that's probably why you got sent off there.
But I only used the word rubbish, no expletives.
I do think... But as I say, so he gets sent off for that. But
it's not like you swore.
But the 20 swearing at him, calling him an effing whatever before, nothing.
I don't think it's fair that if you then watch a Premier League game and you can see, or not even Premier League, probably even lower down that Championship and stuff, and you see the stick that these referees get, and yet they don't send them off. And I think if every time one of them said that, they got sent off. You get rid of that game quickly. Yeah. I mean, do you remember we had a referee? Do you remember the one who wore a woolly hat?
He wore a woolly hat.
As a referee, you have to have some sort of or respect and authority. And he admittedly it was cold, but do you remember we had a game?
I don't think it was cold. I think it was.
He had a woolly hat. Do you remember the game got abandoned because someone took it off his head?
Threw it at the referee, and I think
I shouldn't laugh because he obviously actually invaded.
I think after that he tried to swing for him, but obviously
that part wasn't funny. Obviously. That part wasn't funny, but the fact that he tried... he was wearing a woolly hat in the first instance, which is ridiculous.
The Wally with the brolly all over.
Yeah, exactly. I do think that... none of them deserve it, don't get me wrong, but I do think they can be avoided as well.
I think there's got to be a lot of common sense.
Yeah, I mean...
If you know a game's heating up, like some rash tackles, but don't give a blatant corner and it's gone for a goal kick. That's where you get the sit that.
It's the most important point to make is that the referees with the authority now are so strict to the rules, particularly at the Sunday League, like you mentioned. It's a dissent, it's a yellow card. It's a dissent, it's a bad dissent, a red card. But the problem is the element of common sense. It just needs 1% of common sense.
Yeah, that's true.
Just have the first one, like you see it in the high levels. Just the first one. Just calm down.
Yeah.
Just have a little talk. Not announce it in front of 10, 11 players and get them all to want to, spend the rest of the game trying to get you back. Basically,
I think it's going to happen every game. I think like rugby has a way of like microphone and up.
But do you think they should do that? I personally think that's the way forward because I think because then that means Sky can't. Well, but if you then had the ref mic'd up, that means things like Sky and that can't broadcast the games during the before the watershed. So what that means is that there's a lot of pressure on the moment he says anything, he has to go because we're going to start losing money. Sky. If I was Sky, I'd say, right, we're going to start losing money because we can't broadcast.
I think rugby union.
Exactly. That's what I mean. I think that's the way.
That's why they have rugby union so much money.
I don't know why they don't do it though, but I personally think that's the way forward.
It's like the same thing with having goal line technology and VAR down in the lower leagues. You ain't going to get it.
No, but I understand. But what I mean,
habits start at the top.
But they're the role models, aren't they?
Yeah, they're role models. It starts from the top, but we don't have the equipment So who's are you going to microphone people on the park pitch?
Well, I think
I
part
could
of the
be
reason
hearing to get like 2 pitches away.
Part of the reason I probably gave the referee stick, genuinely, was I used to watch it on the Premier League, see them give a stick, and it's quite cool to do that, to give the liner a bit of, I was never offside, that sort of thing.
The same as your famous dives.
Yeah, exactly.
Famous dives in handball.
As a child, you do pick that up,
you follow the
Kids wear boots because so-and-so wears it, so if I don't know, for argument's sake, Wayne Rooney wears total 90s, it shows how old I am. If he was total 90s.
Total 92s, by the way.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Then they're going to wear them. If he gives the ref stick, then I'll probably do the same. I mean, Poundland got in trouble recently. I don't know if you saw these. They had shirts for the World Cup theme, and it said, "Are you blind?" That had a picture of a ref on it. So it's almost culturally okay to say, "Are you blind, ref?" And
it's become part of football, hasn't it?
Yeah,
it's the problem.
I think it's not good, but it's part and parcel of the game.
And have we gone too far down the road to ever get back?
Is it out of control?
Yes.
Well, but something has to change. You're losing up to 7,000 referees a year, and that as we alluded to earlier, that affects the cost of our local football.
Yeah, and then obviously they don't deserve abuse. They're there to do it for us to enjoy the game.
And the thing is, we have to remember the referees are as needed as much as the teams. Without
Exactly.
the referee, there's no game.
Well, they did that in somewhere up north. They did a strike that weekend.
In Manchester, though, I think,
and they went on strike, and then obviously no football could be played.
Yeah.
So. I do think.
And then obviously you get someone. I'll do it for the game, and then you
that's
still
like
get
at the top
abused.
What if we had a Premier League weekend where there were no games and a Championship weekend?
Because there'll be someone in the crowd that I'll do it.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think
Norwich, the fourth official got hurt, or one of the referees got hurt, and any qualified.
That can't be the answer to 7,000 referees a year leaving, hoping someone in the crowd will do it. What I mean is at the elite level, referees are safe to a point.
Referees get full time.
They're not going to get beaten up.
They've got the stewards. I did watch a video recently.
They are professional, aren't they?
I did watch a video recently of more refereeing abuse in London. And
quite a video to watch, Craig.
Well, it was on the BBC Sport.
Oh right, okay, fair enough.
It was like referee getting beaten the shit out of him. But it must have been a crowd of 40, 50 people, and they're all trying to get this referee. It's just a game of football, man.
Yeah.
Just play the game to enjoy it. If your team win, fantastic. Team lose, okay, fine.
I just think it needs to trickle down from the top, and I think
I think captain's still got to play a much better role. But if you're the captain, and you're giving abuse. There's no hope.
The thing is, you look at rugby, whether it's at the Premier League level, whether it's called, or local level. But what I mean is the expectation, no matter what it is, whether it's the top or the bottom, is that you don't argue about the referee. The moment you say anything, you're off. Mm-hmm. And I just feel like if you did that in football, you wouldn't see it change in a year, but over a generation,
absolutely,
5-10 years time, I think you'd get rid of all of that, and then I think you get more people wanting to referee then. If you know that you have the power, but the moment anyone says anything to you, you're off.
And more importantly, if they become more rare, the incidents will always be reported.
Yeah.
Because they'll become scrutiny for any incident.
Do you think ex-professional players should become referees as well?
Well, it's telling that none of them want to, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true.
There might be coaches but they're the ones who probably get abused.
But I mean, the money for referees are not bad now. So, like you say, you probably get more than that than what you would do doing coaching as such if you're at a lower league team.
Yeah, and
so like you say,
the cost of getting your coaching badges is quite high.
Well, I don't know if you ever watched that. It must have been about a year ago, but when Carragher, before he got done for spitting on whatever, him and Neville did that thing.
I watched that.
Yeah, and actually, it's not as straightforward as what.
No, it's quite intense. Actually.
But I think just to finish off, if the top level are a lot tighter on things like abuse and things, I think that trickles down, and then you're less likely to have people leaving. And the main reason that people leave is because they get physically or verbally abused constantly. 1 in 2 games.
I do think referees, like some league standard, if they're not putting bookings through for like a December, they're not helping themselves.
No, agreed. I mean, I think I played in one game and the ref was pissed. He was still drunk from the night before. So, I mean, you want to avoid things like that anyway in general. But maybe that's the way he gets through the game. I don't know. If he knows he's going to get sticked, might as well give a shit about it.
You'll naturally get a higher standard of referees then anyway. So.
Exactly.
But as been in change rooms, goes look, all referees are shit. They're all shit footballers. Just get on with it. Yeah,
it'd be quite interesting, I think. But no, so maybe if the top got their acting together, then it might be alright. So there you go.
Question of the day. So I bring up a random stat question and I'll get you two to...
Is it fastest finger first on this?
Let's be honest, neither of us are going to know the answer, so it doesn't matter, does it?
Unless you two want to work together.
No, we'll do it against each other. We'll keep a weekly total. Go for it.
It's going to be 0-0 at the end, isn't it?
Don't start with your nil-nils. All about cliches.
We love a 0-0.
Right.
Can our buzzer be? We need to shout out a retro footballer or something like that. Just quick, I'll give you 10 seconds to think one, Cody.
George Ware.
George Ware, right? He shouts George Ware. I'll go Ali Dia.
Ali Dia.
So if you shout out that, and then you can give your answer.
Okay. As it's the World Cup is on
Right.
in Russia. England are doing brilliantly. At the time of recording.
Yeah.
Even though they probably drew 0-0 to Panama. It's bound to happen.
Only because we haven't started yet.
Right. Since the 1998 World Cup, how many goals have England scored?
Oh gosh. So that's not including 98.
That's including 98.
Including 98.
Come on, I was too young to remember 98.
We were young. Who was in school? Year 5.
I wasn't even in school.
How long have we got for this?
Do you
6
want,
weeks.
Do you want? I'll give you 3 options actually.
Oh, 3 options. Yeah,
I'll give you 3 options, and then you can work out who scored if you want to do that.
It's going to be hard to shout a professional footballer for 3 names.
George Ware.
Go on, yeah,
Is it 19, 21, or 24?
Gosh, it's not
George Ware 90.
Okay.
Ali Dia, I'll go for 21.
Charlie, we drew 0-0 with Costa Rica.
Yeah, but we got 2 against Colombia, didn't we? Go for it.
The answer is 24.
Wow.
24. Okay. Do you want to work it out?
Defoe
Yeah. So we'll start with 98.
from 98.
From 98. So
Right,
first
Beckham got
game,
the free kick. Oh, first game was
Tunisia.
right. That was Shearer and Scholes. I remember that.
Yeah,
so
so
the day off school.
That was the day off school for that.
Yeah. No, as in I pretended to be ill.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, I was in school.
I had a sore throat.
I remember cheering for Scholes. I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, Shearer
okay.
Scholes. Then
The second game was Romania.
Oh, that was Michael Owen. He come off the bench.
Yeah, so that's 3.
Yeah. Beckham was
Third game.
against Beckham and Anderton against Colombia.
That's 5.
Then Argentina was Owen and Shearer penalty.
Mm-hmm.
And then we obviously went out. So then
Yep.
2002. Oh
2002.
God.
That's the best World Cup. Didn't start school till 10 o'clock in the morning.
No, that's right.
I got
Yeah.
in trouble for that from a nun. Listen, her lesson to watch. Listen, her lesson to watch England Nigeria, and guess what that score was?
Was that 0-0?
It was 0-0.
And then did Sol Campbell?
Argentina 1-0.
Yeah.
And then Sol Campbell scored
That was
against
a penalty,
Sweden.
wasn't it?
Beckham penalty. That was the second game.
And then Sweden was 1-1, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Sol Campbell header.
Yeah.
So then what's that? What's to put us on?
That's 9 so
Who
far.
was the 16s?
So
16th was Denmark.
Denmark.
That was Rio Ferdinand.
Yes.
Do you know what? I couldn't tell you the other 2 were. Heskey?
Yes.
What a great player.
Yeah, he's so underrated.
Who scored? It was the second goal in that game.
I don't know.
No,
Not Owen?
Couldn't tell you.
Michael Owen.
Michael Owen?
Yes, was the second.
So
And then
Brazil
Lost 2-1
was...
to Brazil.
Lost 2-1 to Brazil.
Was that Michael Owen?
Yeah, it was Michael Owen.
So that's
13.
13. Right,
So
2000.
2006.
This is where all started going wrong.
It's all goes wrong. First
I was
game,
mixed up with-
we played Paraguay.
That was
1-0.
Beckham, wasn't it?
It was a free kick in the 3rd minute, wasn't it?
Yeah,
So
Yeah,
it went
it
from
was a
about
free
35
kick, but
yards.
it wasn't Beckham that scored, but it was an own goal. But
Oh,
we
okay,
played
yeah.
that.
Oh, come on, it was Beckham.
It was an own goal. Second game, played Trinidad and Tobago.
Peter Crouch.
Yeah.
Was that 4-1, was it?
No.
2-0.
Yeah.
Peter Crouch
It
and...
was late in the game, actually. Both goals were late.
Didn't he not score both? I thought he scored
No,
both.
Crouchy didn't score.
couldn't-
Second goal.
I couldn't tell you who got the other one. All I remember was Peter Crouch. I think he pulled the fella's hair.
He pulled Sancho's hair.
That was brilliant.
I couldn't tell you. No, don't know.
Steven Gerrard got that second goal.
Did he?
Yeah.
Wow.
So the third
Is he
game.
playing on the left wing?
Don't know, probably his diamond. Third game, Sweden.
Do you know what? That game completely loses my memory.
Is it 1-0? Or am I thinking
2-2.
2002 again?
2-2 that was.
No.
He probably had the goal of the tournament in that game.
Do you know what? I don't remember that game.
I don't remember
Joe
anything.
Cole.
Oh, yes, that one.
Chess.
Yes, the volley. Yeah. Was that
Top
2-0?
corner. That was 2-0. Who scored the second goal though?
2006.
Yeah, who scored
Lampard?
the second goal? Nope. Lampard has never scored a World Cup goal. Well, debatable,
Yeah.
Do you mind the
nope.
No?
Don't know. Who was it?
It was Gerrard again.
Oh, okay. Right.
Round of 16, we played Ecuador.
Oh, God. I don't remember that game very well.
It was not a great game, not gonna lie.
Was that Beckham as well?
Yes, it was.
Beckham, yeah, Beckham.
Second free kick.
In Germany.
That was 19. Yeah, so
Matthew Upson scored.
Matthew Upson scored
Headed,
in
didn't he?
the round 16.
And Frank
Off his
Lampard
face.
technically
Yeah,
scored the
he
World
did.
Cup.
He did, but he wasn't the only one to score in the World Cup that year in 2010. There was only 2 other scorers. First game, drew with the States. Thanks to Rob Green.
Oh, Stephen Gerrard scored in that one.
Yes,
and
if you got to watch it because it got cut off on TV.
did Jermaine Defoe score against Algeria?
No, that was a 0-0. We love a 0-0. I'll find a stat about 0-0.
Can't remember the other games.
Defoe was
Slovenia.
Slovenia. So that's 22. So Brazil. Played Italy first game. Lost 2-1.
2-1 first game?
Yeah.
Oh, not sure. I can remember Cahill and Jagielka at centre half letting in 2 goals.
Bangs on the left.
Yeah.
Johnson on the right.
I couldn't tell you who scores. I'm not great at this. My memory's awful.
Oh, Daniel Sturridge.
Oh, God,
Daniel
yeah.
Sturridge.
Absolutely.
Second game, we played Uruguay. Suarez
scored
very
2.
unfit. Suarez still battered our defence.
Again, Jagielka and Cahill.
Jagielka, well, I think blame Gerrard for that. He flicked it on to Suarez for the second goal.
Well,
but who scored the equaliser for England that game?
Was that not Sturridge?
That was not Sturridge. Sturridge played a part in it for the goal, but not Daniel Sturridge.
Wayne Rooney.
It was Wayne Rooney.
Rooney, yeah.
It was Johnson that set Wayne Rooney.
Oh, let's not talk about him anymore.
No, Glenn Johnson. So that
Not Adam Johnson though.
Better than him, yeah.
Glenn Johnson. So that takes it to 24. Will we see more goals in the World Cup?
I think we'll see 2-0 nils and a 1-0 scrape.
Against Belgium.
Yeah.
Rashford pinged one in from.
That was a good
30
finish
yards.
actually.
We always do great in the warm-ups.
Yeah.
No, I thought he was quite boring.
Fabian Delph. He'll get a
I
couple.
thought he done alright.
He's been alright, Fabian
He
Delph.
done alright.
Any team with a defensive structure could draw 0-0 against us. Absolutely any team.
But England does have a habit of drawing 0-0. But I think we'll be alright. I think we'll get out of the group.
Yeah.
I
I think we'll lose on penalties in the 16s.
I had England to play Poland in the 16s and go through. England to lose to Germany though in the quarters.
Yes.
That's how my
I don't think
graph
England
worked.
would get through Poland.
You don't think they will get through out of the group?
No, they get out of the group, but I don't think they'd get past Poland in the 16s.
Really? You?
Well, again, I'd say Poland, but I don't think
They
they'd get past.
Zicky, whatever his name is.
Flashikowski
Whole
and like
legend.
Lewandowski, but
Yeah.
and Fabianski in goal. But yeah, so 24.
24.
So 0-0 for both of you.
That's
After week one,
One prediction.
great start.
Cody is on par with his prediction.
Very good. Well, thank you very much, lads. It's another enjoyable evening out.
It's the first one.
Oh, it's the first one. Yes, it is the
First
first
one,
one.
John.
Yes, yeah. We'll redo that bit again.
Delirious already.
But yeah, no. So thank you very much. We'll.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. Nice topics, good starts.
Good start.
I'm
Dan,
still
yeah.
not happy you're not picking Ben John in the shit
Oh,
list.
Ben. Yeah, but
We'll get him out by the end of the season.
At the moment, he's on the bench.
he's our benchmark now. If anyone's better than Ben Jarney, they don't make it. Basically, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
We can sell him.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
could sell him for £8 million and leave him in the airport.
Have a love him.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you very much, lads. Have a
Thank you very
good,
much.
good week.
Have a good
You
week.
too.
Cheerio.
Goodbye.
Bye.
And we're off to Stratton Park where there's been a red card, but for who, Chris Tomorrow?
I don't know, Jeff, has it? I must have missed that. Red card? No, you're right, I saw him go off, but I thought they were bringing us someone.
Interesting. Very interesting. Oh!
I was the shot window and he was the brains.
And Stephen is back and Stephen has missed it. Shearer, Cheltenham supporters.
Sorry, you can sit there and look and play with all your silly machines as much as you like.